Okay, fantastic. Now we are ready to start the Studio Bit program. I've installed it just a few moments ago, and I think before we run the program, I'd like to show you my little robot. So let's go to robot mode and we maximize the screen. And now you will see this is the little robot that I've built. Let's turn it around a little bit. Just a simple little robot. It's got a touch sensor to this side. We've got a photo reflector sensor. We've got a LED on there. This is the battery box. Obviously the controllers, the wheels. Left wheel, right wheel. Left wheel is on motor M1 and M2. And then on port 0, I believe we have the touch sensor. And port 1 we have the IR reflector. And that's about it for this thing. So we can move on to the program at the moment, and you're going to need to connect the thing. Like there in front is a connection, so we'll just connect it. And the moment it connects, I think the wheels will start turning with a program that I've already created. So let's see what happens. I just want to make sure that it's not going to run off the table or anything. So we'll give it a moment. Okay, great. It seems like it's going to behave. Right, great. Let's put it down there. Okay, so looking at the program itself, when you first start it up, you need to set up your project. So go to the edit menu, to edit in the menu, and we are going to go to port settings first, setting up the ports. Now I know I set my LED on port 15, and let's do auto select. I think I'm going to do auto select first. So I've got one LED and two DC motors and a touch sensor, and we also have an IR sensor. So the other sensors I don't have available at the moment, or at least not on this robot. So this robot is set up just with a few basic little things to see if we can get it to move. The main idea for me on this is to quickly build a robot and get something going and see if a little guy of say 7 or 8 years old can quickly get results from this and have some fun with it. That's my main idea. So will we be able to do that? That's the question. That's how we set this thing up. So let's apply this. And it says on port 13, nope, it's not port 13. So I'm going to deselect that one. I'm going to select port 15 for LED. M1, M2 is true. I've got photo reflector port 1 and touch sensor port 0. That is okay, so we can say okay, my system is set up, but it doesn't show anything at the moment. So let's get a connect going. So we need to connect to the robot to actually see what's going on, and it will give you this little nifty board thing here. I'm going to move it to the side there. This thing shows you all that's going on with the Studio Bit at the moment. You will see it give you the name Artec Rover 2. Port 0 is touch sensor. Port 1 is the photo reflector. The photo reflector is on a light brown surface at the moment, but I can change it to different surfaces. For instance, I'm going to move this one now quickly onto my test pad, which got a black line on it. Now I'll put it on the test pad on a black line, and let's see, not quite on the black line. There it is on the black line, and it reflects 50% power. And on the white side of things, you will see it's about 84. Now it tends to vary a little bit depending on a few things, but obviously the ambient light will make a difference here if I look at this thing, because it keeps on changing all the time. Okay, so let's just make sure everything is still fine with the robot. Great, that's my robot that's going. Now let's write the program. Let's do a first program. So on an event, we're going to start with event when clicked. Yeah, that's basic scratch programming. So we go to motion. We've got DC motor 1. Remember, there's left motor. DC motor 2. We're going to turn them clockwise. That's how I set up my robot. We want to get them to go for a certain amount of time. So let's go to controls and set it to 2 seconds. Okay, and then if you do this, your program stack is not complete until you stop the motor. So you go back and stop the motors. As you can hear in the background, there's a little hysterical dog that irritates the living daylights out of me at the moment. but I'll keep up with it and bite on my teeth and think of all the nasty little things that I want to do to that dog if you don't shut up. Okay, let's leave it at that. I won't be nasty with the little dog. Okay, so looking at that, what is the problem for me at the moment? At this moment, these motors, if you look at these motors, there's on the bottom of this thing, the two motors, they're straight up just DC motors, which is fine, but I would prefer the DC motors to have a angle sensor or rotation sensor in it. I love working with an angle sensor because for the little ones, to get them to drive distances and things, I can teach them quickly according to wheel sizes what to do. However, on this one, 2 seconds may be varying because obviously the battery power is going to go down and the distance will start varying quite quickly. You're going to have accuracy problems with that specifically. If you want to try to do something like date reckoning, it's going to be very hard to do. So at this moment, that's a program stack, and I think if you want to do that, you can set your motor powers also. Now we can drag that in, DC motor power 1 and motor power 2. Leave that the same because I just want to go straight forward, and then we can download this program and see what happens. So I'm going to edit to transfer. That's where we transfer our programs. So it's set to test. You can give names to all of these things and test program. So I'm going to run the test program. Say, okay, this is my test program. I'll transfer the program. There it goes. Transferring the program, and let's see. So, okay, I'll do this, and now it's starting one motor up for me. Oh yeah, that's obvious. I need to set that one also. Sorry guys, made a little mistake in this little program of mine, and let's stop this. I'm going to connect again, do our transfer, shifting to test mode. Let's see if we can find some joy in this thing. Transfer. Okie dokie. Transfers. It shows a nice little blue light there when he transfers the program. I must admit, guys, the one thing that I really do like about this robot is this display on top. The 25-bit display and things. That is so cool. Okay, so this is what I've done for now. Just get the robot going. Let's do this. I'm going to do that and reset. This is a 2-second run on the wheels. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time for the robot to start up every time. See there. This, what we found with the kids, was a little bit irritating. So they think that when they download the thing, it must immediately go, and it does not happen. So they got a little bit confused and start clicking and clicking and clicking. But it's something that you can train them and say, okay, please don't do that. Just be a little bit patient, which is very difficult for the little ones, but still. Okay, so this is our first program. Just get the robot move forward for 2 seconds. It's fine. Let's leave it at that for a moment. I'll be back with another video later on discussing a few more things. Thank you guys.